On today's Toy Spot, why we're having a look at the NECA Predator line of figures. Today we're having a look at Jungle Patrol Dutch. Jungle Patrol Dutch features 20 points of articulation, includes M16 with grenade launcher, pistol, and knife. Perhaps a lot of these accessories have carried over from the Jungle Extraction Dutch. The packaging also shares a very similar shape to that of the Predators line of figures that were a line that preceded this one. And on the side, there is the 25th anniversary logo. 25 years of Predator. Who would have thought? You know, just as a side note, and this is just a side note here, this is something that's completely irrelevant, but Spot just likes to throw irrelevant things into his reviews. I would love to get an original concept, green-suited, insect Jean-Claude Van Damme Predator figure. Don't believe me? Check it out. Anyways, I don't know why, I just felt the need to include that. On the back, there's a picture of Dutch as the figure. Other figures that you can get, aside from the two Dutches, you can also get the classic Predator featuring the additional articulation. I can't wait also to get that one opened up. The read-up says, deep in the Central American jungle, the Predator is hunting humans for sport. Armed with this plasma caster, wrist blades, and cloaking technology, the Predator, I keep wanting to say mythologically, methodically, thank you, methodically, cat helped me over there, stalks and kills the opponents he deems worthy. The jungle hunter Predator collects the skulls and spines of his victims as trophies and skins his prey, leaving the bodies hanging from the trees. When a special forces team is dispatched on a rescue mission, they soon become the Predator's prey. Once again, a very generic read-up, more or less explaining the concept of the Predator movie, not so much the figures that the packaging is based from. I'm surprised that because they have really utilized different packaging anyways, because there's a different picture of the figure on the back, why they just simply didn't give us read-ups pertaining more so to Dutch, and not so much just to the overall movie. Oh well. What I am going to do is take a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Jungle Patrol Dutch. Stay tuned. And with Jungle Patrol Dutch, you'll actually get the exact same accessories that came with Jungle Extraction Dutch. You'll get yourself the M16 with grenade launcher. Same gun. Doesn't look like there's anything different on a paint level. Looks like it's the exact same. You get yourself the hand pistol, also utilized from the Jungle Extraction Dutch, with the silver and black. And lastly, you get yourself a knife. If the camera will allow me to focus. There we go. Spot also said preceded, but the Predator figures that came out before, obviously this line, used that similar packaging. Anyways, having a look at Jungle Patrol Dutch here. Let's have a look at his face. His face looks, again, very similar. I would imagine it's very similar used than the one that was used with Jungle Extraction Dutch. In fact, let's just for the sake of argument move that to the side like so. Reaching way off camera. Almost it seemed like to the level of a black hole, just for a Spot to reach over and grab it. But you can see that it looks like it's the exact same figure. Same eyes, same everything else. Sculpt is exactly the same. The only difference is Extraction Dutch does have the cigar. That's it. Also, something that I had mentioned in the review of Jungle Extraction Dutch, it looks as if his jacket could have been removed, and I'm thinking once removed, we would have actually had just this green sculpted t-shirt underneath here, the sleeveless shirt that Dutch has going on here. So I don't really even need to remove it. Not that I would have, but there you go. Aside from that, the figure looks like it's the exact same A new sculpted arm would have been added as well. Look how veiny Arnie's arms are in that movie. I didn't realize. Got those big biceps going on there. What's the matter? They got you pushing pencils? Pushing too many pencils? But I like the face, and it was the same thing I said with the Extraction Dutch. The face is solid. The paint is really done well. You know what? Skin tone level, NECA has perfected it. It does look very different, and I mentioned this with the other review too. It looks very different than the kind of stuff we were getting with the Terminator figures. I know we're still getting Terminator figures, but on a skin tone, overall, it's a lot nicer on Dutch here. You can see his eyes going on there too. They don't seem as... They seem a little more visible detail-wise than that of Extraction Dutch. It also looks like I got a little bit of paint blobbed on the top, but hey, you know the beauty of it, he is wearing camouflage face paint. So, you know what? That's not a blob of hair, my friend. That is part of his facial paint. You see what I did there? You can also see, too, that Dutch is starting to develop a little bit of stubble going on there. The way this figure is really set up, you could have him sporting his vest as you see right here, or if you wanted to, it looks like this whole piece here could be removable. His military vest going on there. And then underneath that, you would just have his regular camoed t-shirt. The choice is entirely at yours as to which way you would want to do it. I believe the next wave, Series 9, is actually going to feature this same Dutch again, but I think he's going to be bare-chested underneath. Now that, if he is going to be coming with the vest, that figure I would be more inclined to remove the vest and have him shirtless. He is utilizing also the same pants as Jungle Extraction Dutch, with the holster on the one side for his smaller knife, which we can actually take now. Take his knife and put it into the holster. And take his pistol, and you can also put that in his holster on the side here. The only thing that's actually missing from this figure, if I bring in once again the Jungle Extraction Dutch, is he actually does not have the side holster for the much larger blade. It's one of those things where I just would have to check the movie out. I don't ever remember this coming off from the time that he's using it to now. So NECA's really accurate when it comes to stuff, so I would imagine at some point in the movie, I'll have to watch it again, maybe that little leg holster knife for his knife actually came off. Also including details here, you got Dutch with a watch, military watch. Oh, there is a little bit of paint, as you can see by his wrist, but I mean, it's so insignificant, no one's going to notice it. Of course, now that I've said that, now you're going to be noticing it. I think the overall execution of the figure is done well, very, very well. And one thing, now this was one thing I didn't really care for with like the Evil Dead figures from NECA. I found the newer Evil Dead figures, they went with this sheen with the paint to give it that sweaty, that hot weathered, clammy complexion to it. With the ash, it didn't quite work. It looked off. With Dutch here, it definitely works really well. And I think with all the multiple layers of paint and that sheen, it looks like real skin. I assure you it's not, but it looks like it's real skin. All the veins and everything else in his arms. In the way of his articulation, it would be the same as the Extraction Dutch, so he would have a very, very rewarding ball joint in the head. His head can tip back and forth, up and down, and then rotate. His arms are on a pin and socket. They rotate back and forth. Pin and socket in the elbow. The elbow will bend and rotate back and forth. He also has a ball jointed hand. He has a ball jointed upper torso, and his legs go forward, back, out. He has a bend and rotation in the knee, bend, rotation, and pivot in the foot. It's not usually NECA's practice to give us bases. Display bases would really bring out these figures as well. Maybe just like a grassy base that you can put him on. I'm sure I could probably find a base somewhere on here. The base really is not even needed. The figure stands easily on his own very well. It's a matter of preference really which figure you prefer, being that they are depicted from two different parts in the movie. And because there is enough difference between them, I think both figures are very well done. Extraction Dutch, I gave him a 9.5, and I still think he is a very solid figure. When it comes to Patrol Dutch, I think again, as equally done well as Extraction Dutch. Patrol Dutch, Jungle Patrol Dutch, I'm also going to give him a 9.5. Today's toy spot, we were looking at the Predator figures from NECA. I believe this was Series 8, and we were looking today at Jungle Patrol Dutch. See you guys next time.